Ladies and gents, what's going on? We didn't stream on Sunday, so we're going to stream on Monday. We're going to pretend it's Sunday. That is a tongue teaser. Anyways, guys, welcome to the stream. As always, I make money on the internet. I think you can deduct that from the title of the video. Here is $1 million in a month, and we can go and change the dates and stuff like that, backing up the headline. And that's a little bit over 250K a week. So we're underplaying the headline for the first time ever on this channel. So that's it. Now, how these live streams work is you can ask me anything you want about anything. My goal is just to come on here for an hour and help you out, give you tons of value. The only thing that we're doing today, guys, I'm not going to be pitching, I'm not going to be selling anything, but on these streams, I always get questions about what's the best way to start as a beginner. So what we're giving away today, guys, just this stream special, I'm not going to talk about it too much right now. We're giving away the 8X Academy 2.0, which shows you how to build your first $5,000 per month business, which going for like 500 to $1,000 per month is what it's actually really good at. The VMA program, it shows how I built up a YouTube following of 370,000 subscribers. The black file shows all my copywriting techniques, all my sales techniques. It gives you Market Hero for 14 days, and it gives you a full traffic generation suite. Plus, we're also throwing in a webinar course in there as well. If you buy all that stuff alone via ads, it's I think a little bit over $1,500 or $3,000. I'm not sure when you put it all together, but we're giving it away today for free if you sign up for a free trial of Market Hero, which basically gives you everything you could possibly ever need to start as a beginner, 100% for free. And if you're in chat real quick and you've picked up this stuff, could you just give me an exclamation mark real quick if you picked it up and you think it's pretty cool, so people know that's not a scam, because you should be worried about that when people are posing in front of Lamborghinis and talking about money on the internet. But let's get down to it, guys. Let me actually go and send out this message. We got top 7 universe. Someone says that is the Hertz background in your videos. That's actually an isotronic beat. I've been ignoring that question from you guys for literally forever, because I just like watching people guess. It's not a binaural beat. Binaural beats have to go in both ears via headphone, and you're obviously not wearing headphones right now, so it wouldn't work. You want to use an isotronic beat if the subject is listening from a normal listening position. Top 5 books for starting a business. I don't know, man. It depends on what you're wanting to learn. I honestly think when it comes to business, by far the most important thing, and nobody wants to hear this. I didn't want to hear this for like the first 6 years of my career. I'm like, self-help and mindset is all garbage. It's all mental masturbation. And so it's not. I think really getting your head straight, knowing how to think, and knowing how to almost brainwash yourself is the most important thing when it comes to starting a business, and then knowing how to change your habits, because being successful, and I don't think, like, if anybody's on here and just jumping on for the first time, I mean, I do pretty well, but I'm no whatchamacallit, Bill Gates or anything like that. I'm no pulling down $100 million a year guy. I just do pretty well. I'm financially free. So I think part of being successful and a high performer, which I'd like to put myself in that category, is really more so about knowing how to build a habit of doing that every single day. If you know how to work, if you know how to see the world the right way, and then you know where to put your energy, and then you know how to build habits around where to put that energy, you're going to do really well. And it's been so much easier for me to make substantially more and be substantially more fulfilled for my businesses, which is what it really all comes down to once I figured that out. Master Faces, what happened to Sam Ovens? He didn't upload videos. Love your knowledge. Well, Sam didn't do, he probably had other stuff to do, and Sam doesn't do YouTube as a hobby like I do. Sam does it for business reasons only, and I do YouTube purely for shits and giggles. I've been up since 3 a.m. My list of to-dos is done, and I figured I'd come on here and help you guys out, give back a little bit, sell some free trials too. So, yeah. Angel Rios says, advice for a young guy who wants to be an entrepreneur: stop identifying with how old you are. It doesn't matter if you're young or old or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. You can if you sit down for 6 months and study something and focus on something, you're going to be better than 99% of people out there. And it doesn't matter if you're young or old. So I say it all the time. People are like, I'm this age, what should I do? The same exact thing you should do if you were 100 years old. Digital procs, is your material cover selling them? Yes. If you go to mhlinks.com/Sunday, that's where you'd grab that special. Or honestly, if you just go right below the link in this video, you should see the link right here. That will take you there, and you can get that $3,000 worth of stuff. It literally gives you everything you need to get started, like how to build your first $1,000 a month business, everything you need to do to sell, build your first product, everything. And I'm doing that just because a lot of people always ask, what's the best place to start as a beginner? And that would be like a 2-hour-long live stream when you could just go and get all that stuff for free for 14 days. And if you don't want to keep it, you can just cancel and not pay anything. So I'd go check that out because that goes down when the stream's down. Someone said, how to best market brand items such as electronic outdoors gear. I don't do e-commerce, dude. I have a very profitable e-commerce education business, but I don't coach or teach in that. Kevin said, my girlfriend and I are in HCOM 3030 loving it. That's awesome, Kevin. I mean, we just saw Michael get his $100,000 plaque. There's a lot of cool things happening there. I'm very pleased with how Devin and Matt have built that program. Any good audiobook suggestions? I mean, that's just such a huge question. I'm trying right now to read 150 books this year, and I'm at, I think, 70 right now. So I'm about halfway there, and the year's about halfway done, so I'm on pace. That being said, when you read books, you don't just want to read books for the sake of reading books. You want to read a book based on what you want to learn. So right now, I'm really, really focused on copywriting. I'm really trying to improve my copywriting, to make the returns on my ads even higher than they are right now. And so that's what I'm going all in on. I'm reading every book I can on copywriting. I'm taking tons of courses on copywriting. So you got to figure out what you need to do to improve your business. So a while back, I wanted to learn a lot about how to structure my company and the culture and how to get employees and how to get really good, talented employees to work there and how to get people motivated and happy to work in the workspace. And so I spent almost 2 to 3 weeks watching documentaries on culture, reading books. I don't actually read books. I only listen to audiobooks. I listen to about 10 audiobooks on culture building and team building. And so you have to figure out where's your block at, and then you got to do that. If you just read a book, you're like, what's a good book on starting a business? There's absolutely none. There's no book that you're going to read that's going to give you a blueprint for business. There just isn't. You should probably go pick up a course. Like if you want to build a Shopify store or do an e-commerce business, I pick up HCOM 3030. Find courses that have results and pick them up. That's kind of where all those courses you see they're being sold online come into play. Someone says, is it lonely being rich? No, not really. I'm pretty introverted though, so I don't really do that much. And also, it depends on what you're doing. Like if you constantly need people around and you're one of those people that constantly needs reinforcement from other people, I suppose it would be lonely. Or if you're an extrovert. But if you're smart, I still have the same group of friends I went to high school with. Me and Rachel have been dating for almost 2.5 years now. And my parents are pretty close by, so no, I'm not lonely at all. I can see people when I want. SoulCube said, why is coding so boring? Because your brain, dude, isn't engineered to be a developer. It's very exciting if you enjoy coding and building things. Alex said, what's the best book on copywriting? Honestly, I picked up this one book. It's a PDF called Take Their Money, and it was really good. It's the best one I've read in a long time. There's so many... The thing about copywriting is there's no blueprint to it. And a lot of people are looking like a structure or like an how-to. And the most important thing about copywriting is you understand your customer and then how to keep their attention and then basically what they're looking for and what they want to buy. And if you can trigger pain and understand what's being said in the copywriting and why it's being said, you're going to do really well with copywriting. Yeah, Kyle the writer is he's pretty good. And in his PDF, but also just for a long time, the reason I've been pretty good at copywriting, even though I wouldn't consider myself like an all-time copywriting great or anything like that, because I only write so many presentations per year. I'm not doing it every single day like a Dan Kennedy or something like that. And the reason I'm really good at it is because I've just done it over and over and over again. I've written, I would say 20 to 30 webinars, 20 to 30 sales pages, 20 to 30 sales videos, and I've just done it over and over and over again and gotten better at it. So, someone said, Alex Becker, oh my God, you drink coffee? Yeah, I do. I drink Usually 2 chameleon cold brews every single morning. Yeah, Sean Vossler is also very good. I'd check out his stuff. Someone said I got Sam Ovens Consulting Accelerator. Congratulations. This is a great course. Some of your points are really similar. A lot of my points on mindset I've picked up in the last year from Sam. Sam really has his mind figured out. I've known Sam for a long time, and I think his business skills and everything are incredible, of course, but I think his greatest strength is that guy knows how to think, and he knows how to view the world, and he knows how to systemize his life to get results. And so that's one thing that I took away from. So a lot of those points you probably took and saw on my channel probably came from Sam, which then came from somebody else, and then came from somebody else, and then came from someone else. Can you give a hardcore message on what you would tell someone? Do a life lesson. Man, Rizwan, I just don't like to hear myself talk that much. I don't think I have a Martin Luther King-like speech in me right now, dude. So, how often do you have time to read books? Every single day. I've read for 2 hours a day. I went to the gym, listened for an hour, and then I got in my hyperbaric chamber over there and listened for another hour. So I've already gotten 2 hours of reading in a day. David said that's not reading. I mean, yeah, that's technically listening. So I suppose you have a point there, but I assume your point is that doesn't count as reading, which, okay. What am I reading at the moment? I'm reading a book called Atomic Habits. Actually, I have my book list I'm reading for the week right here, I'll tell you. What am I reading? I'm reading Loon Shots, Breakthrough Advertising, Agora Copywriting, which I finished, Stephen King on Writing, and Atomic Habits. Those are the books I'm trying to get done this week. I've gotten 2 of the 5 done so far. David said, actual reading has different benefits, Mr. OK. You got a lot of advice, dude. That's really all. I have nothing to prove or disprove. You can have your opinion, and that's just fine. How to find the lion inside when you are stuck in life. I'm assuming you're asking how to motivate yourself. All right, so there's really only 2 ways. So the reason why people become successful is only one of 2 reasons. If you track back anybody who is successful, it always is this. It's either they become so desperate that they have to take massive action, or they are so in love with what they're doing that they take massive action. Those are the only 2 things. If you don't have one of these 2 things, you're not usually going to make it. Okay? You have to be obsessed with what you're doing out of desperation or love. And desperation usually comes from, or drive, a lot of times will come from anger or insecurity once you get past the desperation point. So this isn't the best place to operate from. So when you want to go and become that person you want to be, I've ranted about this on the channel so much, and I'm always working on improving myself. So going out there and saying this is exactly how it's done, this is how I think it's done. If you want to go out there, like, you have to So first off, the number one thing you got to get rid of if you want to go and unleash the lion is you have to get rid of fear, okay? Like, if you're trying to stay where you're at right now or you're afraid of stuff, it's just not going to work. And so most people's fear, and I'm gonna paraphrase this shit. Most people's fear either comes from their fear of what other people will think about them, fear of losing what they have now, or fear of failure actually gets tied into that. So what you first must do is you must stop caring what other people think. That's the number one thing you have to do, because you're not going to do anything if you're afraid of other people thinking you're a failure. That's the number one reason why people don't go out there and fail. Usually, if you were a failure, guess what? You lose your money and you get cheap rent and you just build it back up again. Being a failure doesn't mean you're a failure. Losing all your money doesn't mean it doesn't mean anything. You're like, who you are doesn't change at all. Like, the being that you are doesn't change at all when you lose all your money. And then there's just the fear of losing what you have now. And again, that's attachment to the things that you have now that don't do anything to your life. All the things that you have right now are doing is stopping you from going and becoming the person that you want to become, which is the most fulfilling thing you can do. Things can never fulfill you. So the main reason why most people can't get started is fear of what others think and fear of losing their shit. When your shit isn't important to your happiness, and what other people think has absolutely zero to do with your happiness. Absolutely zero. So once you get rid of that, dude, I mean, if you're desperate, then you can just tap into desperateness and just go all in on it. But if you're not, you have to find some way to make yourself feel really happy and fulfilled when you're working. That's all it is. Like, if you're working 16 hours a day and you hate what you're doing, it's not going to work. You can't do that. I can't work for even 2 hours on something I don't enjoy doing most of the time. It's very difficult for me. And so what you need to then do is you need to find something that you're really interested in. It's probably not going to be like your most number one passion. Like, a lot of people like video games. You're probably not going to be able to start a video game company, or you could go work at a video game company. You can learn all the skills you need to go work there and then start your own video game company 5 years from now. One of the things that stops people from getting started too is they're so attached to financial results immediately, when that's absolutely ridiculous. If you went to the gym, usually the results to get like a really strong, good-looking physique in the gym, I would say would be 6 months to a year. Don't quote me on that because I'm not a workout expert, but everybody knows that. So when a person goes to the gym for a month and they've only put on a pound of muscle, they're not gonna lose their damn mind. And what happens in business is people, this is all they care about. And so because their happiness is attached to financial results, and when you're just starting off, your results, they hibernate. They stay in the background. It's like a geyser that's building up pressure, okay? And so your results and all the work you're doing starts building up, and then explodes once you get into at a certain point. Like, then everything starts to skyrocket, but everything builds in each other. You don't see results for a while. So people get attached to results and expect results, and because they don't love what they're doing and they're not getting fulfillment out of what they're doing, and they're trying to get fulfillment from results, they don't ever really put in the work. They don't fall in love with it, and then they just stop. And so that's the other thing you got to do right there. I mean, I could go and talk on this for about 2 hours. I'm just not, because like there's 16 videos on my channel about it. The final thing is, if you don't have the energy, you don't have the motivation, it's very likely a health thing. I for example, I don't drink anymore. I don't drink at all. I've just given it up, because even with all the motivation that I have, the love I have for my company and my staff and the things I'm doing, if I go and drink or I eat bad food, like if I go to eat a big pizza the night before, I'm going to have brain fog and I'm not going to feel good the next day, and I'm going to feel just like crap. And I'm going to tell you, if you think I'm special, or you think that I have something that you don't, you think I have some IQ or some understanding of business, even with all those things you think I might have that you don't have, I can't get shit done. Literally nothing. It doesn't even work. If I don't sleep well, nothing's going to get done that day. If I don't have my health really dialed down, it takes me about a week of really clean eating and really good sleep to get into like a really good momentum. And so it's really easy when you get rid of fear and you love something and you have your mind crystal clear. You don't have any other thoughts going towards, well, first off, you're able to think very clearly, and then your thoughts aren't going towards negative stuff. Most people's thoughts go completely to negative stuff, and so it's just demotivating. But then when you're not afraid of anything, and all you have to focus on is like stuff that excites you, because that's what you're going to do. If you don't have anything to think about, you don't have anything else to do, you're just going to focus on what makes you happy, and you're just going to go do that, you know? And once you do that and you have the crystal clear thought, that's how you're going to go out there and activate that. Now, the other part about being successful is you have to be very disciplined and you have to have a lot of focus. And the easiest way to explain this, dude, is think about it this way. You have a bunch of habits that you might do every single day. We can get into time management, we can get into health management, stuff like that. But a lot of people just have really bad habits. They're just going to wake up and they're going to watch TV, or they're going to hang out on social media. They're going to play video games for 4 hours when they haven't gotten anything done. They're going to watch 2 hours of Game of Thrones when they can't read a book for 15 minutes, or they're going to eat bad food. They're going to do all these bad things that you can't be successful if you have all these bad habits, and they can't stop these bad habits. And so every single time you go and invest in a bad habit, it's like it's a voting box. Like, here's the guy you want to be. All right, here's the person you want to be, the powerful person who's successful, or whatever your goals are, really. Okay, that disciplined vision of yourself that everybody has in their head. And every single time you put in you basically, your actions are basically votes towards the person you're going to be. Okay, so if you have all these positive habits in your life, every single time you do a positive habit and you do a positive thing, it's going to get you close to this person. And every single time you do one of your negative habits, or you do one of your stupid things, it's a vote that takes you away from this person. And so what happens is most people have so many bad habits in their life and so few good habits that they never even get close to being this person, because they're constantly voting this way. It'd be like if you had a president, you wanted a certain person to be president, and 90% of people were voting against them. You can't be a person that you want to be when 90% of your actions go against and don't align with that person. It's not it. You are your actions, and your actions are votes to who you are going to be. So if you combine all those things that I just ranted about, you're going to be in a lot better position. Arthur says, how to stop being concerned with what people think. I've released a massive video on this, but you have to understand this one thing. It's so damn simple. This is you. This is what people think. Okay? You are not what people think. It's a completely other separate thing. And if you're deriving your happiness, if who you think you are is what other people think is what you think that other people think you are, then who you think you are is not who you are. So you're going to do all these things based around what you want other people to, what you think other people think, and you're going to do those things to impress those people, and those actions have nothing at all to do with you. Not even a tiny bit. So for example, you're going to see a lot of people who will go out and they'll wear really nice clothes, and they'll talk about how much money they make, and they'll be posting on Instagram and all sorts of stuff like that. People are obsessed with that today. Why? Because they want people to think that they are that thing. But that thing that they're putting so much effort into has nothing to do with what they're actually interested in and what they actually find fulfilling. So every action in your life goes towards satisfying other people's thoughts that you think they have instead of satisfying yourself. And therefore, you're going to be fucking miserable. It doesn't work. If you were trying to go out there and work towards something that has nothing to do with you and everything to do with other people and the thoughts that you think they have, you're lost. Just realize you are you. And regardless of what people think, the money in your bank account, you're just you. You're just that thing in your head right now that's experiencing things. And no matter how much money you make, no matter what people think, you're that. And that's all you'll ever be, and that's all you ever will be. So it's just goofy to worry about what other people think. Lewis says, tell anyone who judges you to fuck off. Works for me. Well, I mean, why even tell them? I'm not saying don't do that, Lewis. My point of view is, like, why even tell them to fuck off? Like, sometimes you can listen to what they have to say. Sometimes people are right. But you don't have to be like, fuck you. Like, hey, you can think your thoughts. Like, there's a guy right here, Wi-Fi, and you just yelled at me that I'm a con artist. I'm not a con artist. I've literally like a 0% dispute rate right here. People love our products. So it's just like, you don't have to respond to what people say. You know? Someone said how to create SaaS software. I wouldn't do it if you're starting out. Don't do start. Don't do that starting off. Would you get a personal Jarvis AI sidekick? From Simlan. Hey, dude. I don't know, dude. That would be really annoying. You think, like, I kind of like doing stuff on my own. And I don't know. Maybe, but I'm not sure. I think if the AI was smart enough, it would kind of ruin the feeling of privacy. Do I study physics and how it relates to business? I mean, it depends on what you say. It depends on what you define physics as. I'm a very big believer in quantum physics, and a lot of the things have been proven there. It's the most sound theory of everything that there is. And I think by thinking, and I mean everything that we're doing and everything that we experience and the things that we see, it's all based on quantum physics. So I think that has a lot to do with it, and the things we think basically creates our reality. That being said, I don't try and understand all the science behind it, because I'm not trying to be a quantum physicist, you know? Have I invested in anti-gravity tech? No. If I invested in all the things you guys asked me if I invested in, I'd have no money. I'd just be a broke guy with investments in a lot of weird shit. You say you always invest in yourself. How much do you reasonably think you should spend to start an e-commerce business or Amazon? I think you should have $1,000 a month set aside to do an e-commerce business. I mean, e-commerce definitely, it crushes it. Like, the results that are coming in right now, let me show you. I was just digging through this before, so I'm going to show you anyways, even though you didn't ask, because I'm pretty dang proud of the work we're doing over at HCOM. But let me pop this up. So you said, like, should you start an e-commerce business? There's really, I think you should either, if you're starting off, you should start an email marketing business, an education business where you basically sell info products, or an e-commerce business. But if you're going to do an e-commerce business, you should definitely make sure my chat's not popping up. What are you doing, Facebook? You should definitely invest in like some program, because you can lose so much money in e-commerce. But when you actually like nail it, like we have people coming in here like first $100 day, first time he went through the course, $1,000, and you just keep scrolling through, and like you keep seeing like, all right, this is what I did today, $500 a day, or $444, and you can just see all the results people coming in here, $100 a day, $600, and we even had like a person here who just got his $100,000 plaque, joined the program. I did $20,000 a month in his first month, so it's pretty cool. But you definitely want to like hang out with people and join a group of people that actually know what they're doing, because you will lose your butt in e-commerce if you don't. Consulting in info marketing, it's a little bit harder to lose your butt in. Who do you get your health advice from? Simland, he was actually just in here. Really good for fasting and whatnot. Detox Dudes has a lot of good information on detoxing. Chris Winters has a lot of good information on anti-aging and optimization. Ben Greenfield is pretty good as well. And Dave Asprey from Bulletproof has some pretty good stuff as well. So someone said, when you feel overwhelmed, unfocused, or have lost your focus temporarily, what do you do? I never feel unfocused or I'm just kidding. Well, first off, I'm just going to stop what I'm doing, and you don't want to keep doing that. And I let myself know that, like, you feel overwhelmed or unfocused when you don't. That's a weird question to answer. Just give me a second. I'm trying to think of what to say. So, if you're feeling overwhelmed, the first thing you need to do with both of those is you need to diagnose why you're feeling overwhelmed. Why am I feeling overwhelmed? You need to diagnose, is it because you just have too much stuff on your plate? Like before, I was working on like 5 different businesses, and like nothing was moving forward and in my business. And so like I was overwhelmed and demotivated by that. And so I needed to go and diagnose why that was happening. And so if you need to ask yourself, okay, why am I feeling overwhelmed? And if it's this thing, you need to stop these things. And if you can't focus, get rid of everything until you're only focusing on one thing. So that's what you need to do when you're overwhelmed. Just get rid of things. Now, if you're just feeling overwhelmed in general, it could be that you've burned yourself out. It could be that you're not resting enough. And so in the most simplest way, dude, rest. Take time off. Take the day off. Just say, I'm not getting anything done today. I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to go get my brain straight. And again, I always tap on it, but having your brain clear and having your body clear and having a really good routine that allows you to not be overwhelmed. Like if you're going to be doing, I'm usually up about 3 to 4 a.m. I'm going to work, as you can see right now, it's getting to about 1 p.m. right now. I'll probably go till 2 today, so that's about a 12-hour day, 11 to 12-hour day. And if you're going to do that, you have to have a very solid routine. You can't brute force it. You can't go and overcome stuff. It has to be a very good flow, and you have to be also, if you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed about things, there's a lot of, I've been looking at a lot of like NLP and just ways to work the talk in your head, so I'm just thinking about what tangent to go on. But if you are feeling stressed about stuff, I don't even, there's just too many different ways to go with that. If you ask a more specific question, I can probably give you a better answer. Someone said beginner intermittent fasting routine. Don't eat for 24 hours. Just don't eat. Only have coffee. Someone said, is your success predictable or surprising? I wouldn't say predictable, but I wouldn't also say surprising. And I have a pretty good concept of what's going to work and what's not going to work. I've studied businesses that are successful. I've studied ads and copywriting that's successful. So it's never surprising when it works, but it's not predictable. Like, you have to go out there and test things. And the thing I know most is that you're not ever going to be able to predict it, but I do know that if you just keep hitting something over and over again from different angles, you're eventually going to figure something out. If you've ever played a video game where you're trying to figure out something or find a way past something, even if it comes at like glitching the game or something like that, you eventually find a way through. So I know that if I keep poking something with the right view, like if I understand how things are going to be put together, and if I understand like how to position my SaaS company, how to position my information business, and how to position the ads and what my customers are thinking, I know that if I have all the right materials, aka let's say for H-Comic, for example, which is a really successful education business. If I know what my customers are thinking, if I know what they want, if I focus on having a really, really good product, if we put maximum effort into getting customers results, and I understand the pitch and the advertising behind it, if I have all those core concepts and how to run that business well, and then I keep pushing forward with that, I know it's going to work. It's going to work eventually. It might not work the first or second time. It's going to work the fifth or sixth time. So basically that's it. Do you think it'd be helpful for an aspiring entrepreneur to watch you for hours and hours? No, I don't think so. I think the most important thing would be doing the work. Most aspiring entrepreneurs are really bad at doing the work. Someone said, when you're starting out, did you have a day job while launching your business? I was in the military. I got out and I was kind of building my business then. Then I started doing freelancing and stuff, SEO consulting for businesses, selling SEO information. And then I wanted to have a safety net, because like the most important thing when you have a business is like, so if you ever played an RTS like Warcraft or StarCraft, you have a home base, okay? And you have this gold mine that basically feeds the base and allows you to go out there and do all your operations. Okay? Allows you to go find other gold mines, allows you to go and do all the things with your army that you are. And it's very similar in life. It's really hard if you don't have a home base with gold coming in, with a gold mine, like a renewable income. It makes it very hard for you to go out there and go out into the wilderness and kind of go on those adventures and those risks, because when you go out on these adventures, when you go out and starting your businesses and stuff, you're still going to play really conservatively, because you don't have this thing you can rely on. And so I think getting a job and keeping a job while you're working your first business, put 3 hours a day into your business when you get home at night, get to maybe $2,000, $3,000 a month, and then maybe focus on quitting your job. But you have to have this gold mine right here. A lot of people I see that get in the business, they're like, okay, Alex, I don't have a job. I don't have any income coming in. And so how do I start a business? And I know exactly, there's two types of people that try and do this. There's people that have a job and want to build their own business and want to become entrepreneurs because they love it and they want to hit a higher income. And then there's people that have made really bad life decisions. And I love you if you're one of these people. You can change. But you've made really bad life decisions. You have no skill set and you don't want to get a job. You want to have some magic money machine at home. And everything about that mindset is anti-success. And so I see these people all the time and they don't have a gold mine because if you're making horrible life decisions, if you're not educating yourself throughout your life, if you're not working, if you're not a hard worker, if you want to be lazy, if you want something where you can just sit around and do nothing and just be a piece of shit, like the business is not for you because you have to work for yourself. You have to rely on yourself more than anybody else. So I see that a lot. And then, so if you do have skills, yeah, you should keep your job. You should keep your job and build a business while you have free time. Brandon says, Alex, do you think selling a course on investing has potential to grow big time? I mean, Brandon, you can do a quick Google search, dude, and see companies that are doing $100 million a year selling investment information. Of course. Of course. Bassam said, Alex, why do you want to help people so much? I don't think I want to help people any more than the next guy. Honestly, I don't think I'm some... I don't think I'm some Gandhi or something like that. With, my education business. Changes a lot of lives. Also makes a lot of money. It's a cash flow business. I really enjoy building businesses that work and building the companies and brands and creating great products. And so I don't really do it for other people, to be honest. I like building companies and products. That's where I get fulfillment from. I don't get the fulfillment from money. Like at Market Hero, it wasn't profitable for a long time. And I enjoy building that company and getting the results for customers and then getting the results for the team and seeing that thing that you built grow. It's like building this big cool ass tower of awesome stuff. And so that's why I do it. And so it's for me. This stuff on YouTube and stuff like that, I enjoy coming on here and giving you guys information that would have helped me when I was younger. That's really it. And it's fun. So Kick Nash says, Alex, what is the best return on investment with $500 startup cash? Where should I start? Dude, I mean, if you have only $500 and that's the last $500 you have, you need to find a way to have another $500. You shouldn't be investing really anything. I didn't invest much in my business when I started, I was just building. You don't need a lot of money to build a business. Someone says dropshipping still a valid business in 2019. The question's so dumb. You can do two, DJ. You can do literally two searches. You can just go on Facebook and here's the HCOM group. There's just all the income results you just see flashing down here. This made $800 this month. Now I'm making $81 today. Made my first $129 day. You can just keep scrolling down. You can just see everybody going out there. All right, so there we go. Yesterday, boom, biggest day yet. It's just right here. This was 2 days ago, a couple days ago. And so it's just when people say that, here's a person did 10,000. Got a person opening a 100K plaque right here. So the problem isn't that anything's dead. Nothing ever dies. At least from my point of view. You can still do SEO. You can still do consulting. You still do email marketing. You can still do Shopify. All of it's there. What a lot of people refer to as dead is you can't put out crap and it will work. Okay, so whenever there's a new market, Shopify was in the zone where it was really new, 2-3 years ago, and you could just put out crap. You could just be a crap entrepreneur selling crap stuff, and everything you did was crap. You didn't care about the customer. You didn't do anything that's a principle of business. And the principles of business is you give more value than you charge. You focus on the customer and you provide something of value to people. And so people are just going out there and they're just putting out crap. They're breaking every law of business, and then it stops working, and so they say, oh, this business model is dead. No, dude, if you ran a McDonald's and you put shit in your cheeseburgers and there's no one working the front desk, and basically, let's imagine this. When people claim that it's dead, it's like they're people and they opened a fast food restaurant in a town that had no restaurants. And so they were the only person that had a restaurant in that town. And so they open the restaurant. They have one employee who doesn't speak English in an English-speaking town. They only have one burger, and it's the cheapest, lowest quality meat you could have possible. And there isn't even a seating in the restaurant. There's just really uncomfortable stools that you can't even, there's no tables, there's just stools. So you have to sit down and eat your cheeseburger on a stool. So basically this restaurant fucking sucks. And so then what happens is a few of their entrepreneurs come to town and they go, oh, this restaurant fucking sucks and it's making a lot of money. I bet we can make a restaurant that doesn't fucking suck and make a lot of money. And so they do that. And then that restaurant closes because it fucking sucks. And so what happens, because that restaurant fucking sucks, is it closes down, and then the idiot who runs that restaurant, who is a fucking shitty entrepreneur, says, oh, this is dead, it doesn't work anymore. And so they go in their Facebook groups and say, oh, opening restaurants doesn't work anymore. No. If you fucking suck, you're not going to be good at this. So when people ask if something's dead, or people are proclaiming you're dead, just respond to them, well, sir, good sir, I have a question for you. Do you fucking suck? They're going to go, and then you just say, sir, that's probably why your restaurant is dead. So that's the rant about that. Does a business get in the way of having babies? Harvey Jones says, single question, set of questions used to reaffirm yourself when you temporarily lost focus. Sometimes you need to lose focus. Sometimes you need to go and do something else. You can't focus on your business 24/7. And the most important thing is when you lose focus, it's because you don't know what you want. And these answers are so simple. It's because you don't, and the simple things are what people usually have trouble with. That's why a lot of people have trouble. And so if you lose focus, it's because you didn't know what you want in the first place. You don't know, you haven't planned how to get there. So for example, I have a number in my head when I want to exit my company at, and I have a certain number of customers I want to get, and I have a certain number of features. I have everything mapped out to get there, and I know exactly what I want and exactly even what I want to do with that money when it comes in. I have the exact everything I'm going to do with it, everything laid out. I know exactly where I want to go and what I want to do. And so I'm really pumped about that. And so losing focus, maybe not wanting to work on it, maybe not having the energy to work on it that day, sure. But losing focus on that it doesn't compute, because that's the whole reason why I get up in the morning. That's what I'm about, building these things. And so if you have lost focus, you really need to figure out what you want, and then you need to picture that in your head and how you're going to get there, and think about that all day long. So that's the only thing you focus on. Do I read every day? I read for about 2 to 3 hours a day. Do you think one should quit college even if I can balance both business and college? You can't balance both business and college. You're just going to be a crappy student and a crappy business owner. I mean, like, if you're going to college, like, what is the, like, I don't see why people are so attached to it. The reason why people get attached to their college and they ask questions like this, and there's nothing wrong with you, Heart Melodies. I mean, I understand what you're doing. You want to stay in college, hang out with your friends and whatever. And it's like you got sold a car that doesn't work, and you instead of like just returning the car, you're like, I'm going to pay off this car out of like, you don't want to call yourself a quitter because you think there's some value. There's no value in college. I mean, if you're going to be an engineer or a lawyer or something like that, by all means, there's no value in what they're teaching you. It's all 5 years out of date. You can learn anything you need to do. And really, when it comes to making money, it's not about being a well-balanced person. So I don't understand what on earth I don't understand what on earth they could teach you over 4 years. That's like, what takes 4 years? What are they teaching over that time? It would take you about 2 months to learn Facebook and AdWords ads, or either one of those. And about another month to learn copywriting to the point where you could sell an info product. That's like 3 months. Like this guy right here in the HCOM group, who he did 20,000 his first month in HCOM. Like you learn a skill set and you get good at one skill set. I don't know what on earth they're teaching kids in college for 4 years. Like what takes 4 years to learn and get results with? I mean, 4 years into my business after I got going, I was making over $2 million a year. Like, what on earth are they teaching you that will allow you, like, and then the stuff they teach you, you get out and you make like $30,000, $45,000 a year. Like, you can do that without a college degree. I don't get it. It makes no sense. Hussam says, sorry for spamming this message. If an economic collapse happens soon in the coming year, how bad would it affect your business? Hussam, dude. So look, here's the difference. And this is something I see all the time. What if someone sues me? What if this happens? All right, so here's a pile of shit. Here's a bunch of what if situations. Okay? Here's a bunch of what if shitty situations. And then here's a bunch of awesome situations. Okay? And these shitty situations over here are going to come at complete random. You cannot predict every shitty situation that's going to happen. You just can't. They're completely random. All over the place. Maybe you might see one or two, but over the span of time, you're not going to see them coming. And the only defense against shitty situations is just being so awesome that you're immune to shitty situations. Just being so rich and successful that you're immune to it. Okay? And not being dumb and not exposing yourself to risk. Hedging your bets. And then forgetting about the shitty situations. Because you're sitting on the live stream. You got a guy who's doing pretty well. He's telling you everything he knows. And the only thing you want to focus on is some vague, shitty situation that could happen. Like, that's your question. Alex, what if some vague, shitty thing happens to me? Okay. I don't know. You can't predict that. And if there's an economic collapse, oh, okay, great. There's an economic collapse. What am I going to do about that right now? The only thing I can do is focus on heading towards things I can control and make a lot of money on. And then seeing where those industries are going. I'm going to know my industry. I'm going to focus on all the positive things I can do instead of planning for 8 different ways. What if Satan himself comes up from ground tomorrow and starts shooting people with lightning? I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I don't know. But if there's some economic collapse, I guess I'll figure it out. But right now, I'm going to focus on, I'm going to put all my energy in the things that are going to get me results, not the things that might maybe happen. You know? So, like, you don't have to have a plan. You don't have to have a plan for 9/11 every single day of the week. Okay? Like, bad stuff's going to happen. Entrepreneur Hustle says, hey, Alex, I'm a huge fan. This is irrelevant. How do I get over a girl that broke up with me and I still think about 2 years after? The bigger question, dude, is why are you thinking about someone who doesn't want to hang out with you and doesn't like you? Like, the first rule of being in a relationship is the person has to like you. Like, why would you like someone that doesn't like you back? And it's because you're trying to get something from that person. It has nothing to do with the person. You're trying to fill some void in yourself with said person. Like, because if you weren't trying to fill some void that you're not filling for yourself, you wouldn't need that person, and you definitely wouldn't want to invest so much time in a person that doesn't like you. So, I'd work on yourself. So Chris WE67 says, what's the best way to start? Funny you ask. So anyways, guys, look, like every stream, I'm just going to put this out there real quick because I'm probably going to hop off the stream real soon. And then at that point, this deal's done. So look, today, if you go to mhlinks.com/Sunday, which is right below this video right here, there's a full, massive beginner archive. So basically what this is going to give you is the 8X Academy 2.0. And what's this going to give you is step-by-step how to build your first $500 per month business. There's literally a 30-day breakdown of how to get to your first $500 a month, $1,000 a month, even if you want to take it to $5,000 a month. Actually, everything right here is everything that I use to build my first 7-figure info business. There's literally the niches, how to build the funnels, all the copywriting, sales techniques, how to generate the free traffic, how to generate the paid traffic. It's all right there. Then on top of that, guys, what we're throwing in today, we're also throwing the VMA program, which shows you how to go and grow a YouTube channel, get tons of traffic to it, and then run ads to that to sell your info products even more. We're also giving you a webinar blueprint course here in our program that shows you how to write long-form sales letters that you can use to sell these courses and more things to this email list and your YouTube channel. Then we're also giving you the black file, which shows you a lot of advanced sales techniques, copywriting techniques, basically everything I use to build way back when, almost like I think about a $500,000 per month business, give or take. Anyways, those things are all included today. If you go to mhlinks.com/Sunday, you click right there, you go in, and it's 100% free. And what happens when you go in there, it's a free trial. You can check out all this information, get all the courses for 14 days. If you like them, you keep them. It's $47 a month. If you don't like them, you click the cancel button in the dashboard. You never pay a thing. That's it. And real quick, if you're in chat right now and you've bought my products in the past, you've checked out my info and you think it's absolutely awesome, could you just put a quick exclamation mark in chat for me? Just to let everybody know that, hey, it's pretty cool. You should check it out. It's worth trying it for free. I'd greatly appreciate that so that people know that, hey, this is where you go. Because if you're a beginner, you want to look for a couple things. You want to find something that's low risk. This is free to try. You want to find something that's a total package. This gives you everything you need, the software, the tools, the training, the copywriting, the sales, the ads, literally everything. And then there's dozens and dozens and dozens of people in here that are mashing the exclamation mark telling you to check it out, saying it's legit. So this has everything you should look for in an offer. It's completely low barrier. There's absolutely no risk. And if you want to swing at this, I think you're nuts. So I'm taking it down when the stream is done. That's so much stuff that shows you how to build your first business. So JD said, if you're struggling with alcohol, what would you do? I mean, I've struggled with alcohol in the past. Not struggled with it, but it's definitely been a hindrance on my life. You have to find something that is worth more than the alcohol to you. My success in becoming the person I want to become and doing the things I want to do is far more important to me than getting drunk on a Friday night. It just is. I enjoy going out with my friends and getting drunk and going to have boozy dinners. I love it. It's tons of fun. But this is more important to me, so I'm going to do this thing. And when I think back of all the dark places and the hangovers and all of the depression you feel when you're hungover the next day, it's not worth it. So you have to think about, one thing that helps me with alcohol a whole lot is when you're thinking about drinking, I want you to think about your 5 worst hangovers, or the 5 worst things that alcohol has impacted you. You need to think about them very clearly, okay? And so when you're thinking about alcohol, when you start feeling that cue to go and do that, you're going to be thinking about this picture in your head of having fun and all these good feelings. That's the problem right there. What you need to do is you need to shrink this picture right here, and instead of thinking about just the last time you felt bad, think about like 5 times. Like there's one time that I was like throwing up the next morning. There's one time I missed this massive like webinar, lost a ton of money. There's so many weeks where I've fallen behind and like gone there. So I think of all these hangovers and like how all my work and all the work I put into my body and my business gets ruined. And I'll think about times I went and spent way too much money because I was drunk. And then like just another bad thing, and I'll play those back to back in my head. And what happens when you don't draw and blow it on your screen, when that happens, man, I literally didn't even show the AX Academy when I was showing it off, did I? But when that happens right here, it becomes pretty ridiculous in your head that you're considering drinking alcohol. It's like it's looking back at a relationship where you've been abused for years and be like, oh yeah, this seems like a good idea. No, it's not. So that's what I would get into. Lewis says, how do you deal with a family that doesn't get the struggle of entrepreneurship? What does your family have to do with your life? Like, what does your family's approval have to do with, like, if something makes you happy and your family doesn't want you to do something that makes you happy, get rid of your family because they want you to be unhappy. Why would you enable or allow anybody to tell you to do something that doesn't make your life happier? Why would you include people in your life to make you feel bad? It's complete and utter nonsense. You're not some slave. You're not forced to do anything. Just because these people raise you doesn't mean you have to punish yourself for the rest of your life to make them happy. Lord of Lore says, how to balance between partying, going out, with doing work in the grind. Lord of Lore, you're probably asking that because you haven't achieved balance and it keeps messing up your work and grind. And the solution, Lord, is you can party, but you're not going to be good at business. You're going to be operating at 50%, and I hope your 50% is damn good. But you're not going to be good. You're not going to win. You're going to be slower, you're going to be dumber, and you're not going to be as motivated, and you're not going to be good. And so you can try and balance it, dude. That's fine. If you want to do that, if partying is that important to you, by all means. But just understand, you're not going to have a good success ratio, dude. If you're in the NFL right now, and you're a quarterback and I'm a quarterback, or anyone is, and if you're out drinking on the weekends, you're not going to be one of the best players. And if you're okay with that, you're okay being a subpar player, that's cool. But just understand, you're going to be a subpar player. That's where you need to be. So there's no balance. If you want to balance it, that's great. Balance is being subpar. The best at anything are not balanced people. They are finely tuned lasers. So. New Wave says, about to hop into HCOM 2020. Is it possible to generate 100K a month with Shopify? New Wave, what the fuck? Like, I've seen you ask this question 5 times. And I appreciate you hopping into it. I appreciate you being on the stream. Do you think that's reasonable at all? Like, how pissed off are you going to be 2 months in, 5 months in? Like, how lost are you going to be when you come in and your goal is 100K a month? It took me 2.5 years to get to 100K a month online. And, like, you can make 100K a month in e-commerce. However, if you don't know how to put up a store, you don't know how to serve your customer, you don't know how to get stuff from point A to point B, you don't know how to write a damn good ad, like, that's what you need to be focused on. This is like me coming in and saying, like, hey, I'm going to this football camp and I want to be in the NFL by next week. Like dude, no. Don't even put that in your head. I'm not saying knock yourself down. It's totally possible. You can make $1 million a month with Shopify. Easy. However, you need to be coming in here and focusing on the basics, dude. You need to get to the basics and focus on getting your head straight. Getting your head straight so you don't come in to HCOM asking dumbass questions like, how do you make 100? Can I make 100K a month? No, because you're not focused on anything except making 100K a month and not serving the customer. Get real, dude. Come inside, but get your shit straight. Don't focus on making 100K a month. Focus on making the best Shopify store and the best ads and providing the best customer experience, and you'll get to that point. But if you're just going out there, it's like you show up on the field, the football field, and you're like, hey, let's score 100 points, but you don't have any plays mapped out, you don't have any strategies, you don't have anything. Focus on that. The score will take care of itself. Why do rappers with their Gucci don't see life the way you and Sam Abrams say? Most rappers are really poor, dude. And most of them aren't successful. And most of them are locked in a life of sin and fake people and fake shit. So, I mean, dude, if you want to know the answer to that, here's what you do. Go make millions of dollars. Go get yourself Gucci. Go get yourself tons of expensive stuff. Go spend tons of money on people and parties to attract tons of people who don't really like you. They just are there for the party. And get all the stuff that the rappers have, and you tell me if you're happy or not. It's not about them seeing the world in one way or not. You go do that. Go do that, and then tell me how happy you are. And tell me how Because when you're doing that stuff, it's just so obvious. Why on earth would you go do all those things if you loved yourself? You wouldn't, because you don't need to buy tons. You don't need to go and spend $10,000 on a bottle of alcohol to impress people. Like, what does that have to do with you? It's just obvious. What is going out there and being surrounded by tons of hotties have to do with you? Other than you trying to reinforce to yourself that you're worth something. That's all they're doing. When you really get down to the core of it, like you can tell me, it's pretty simple. Ethan said, number one mistake to avoid, ego, my friend. Ego, reading your own clippings, and yep, not having your head figured out. That's the number one mistake. So anyways, guys, I'm going to hop off because I'm tired. I'm going to do some other stuff. And that special I mentioned, guys, again, today on the stream, it's ending right now when I hop off the stream, and get in the AX Academy. It's going to show you step-by-step how to build your first $500 per month business, how to get it to $1,000 a month. Heck, if you even want to get to $5,000 a month, it's going to show you all the niches you need to pick, all the funnels, all the copywriting, all the free traffic tactics, so you don't have to spend any money on traffic, and it's going to show you all the paid traffic tactics as well. We're also going to give you the VMA program, which shows you exactly what type of YouTube videos to make to get lots of views on YouTube, how to run ads back to those YouTube channels, and sell more of your info product that you created in the 8X Academy program. We're also going to give you the Hero in our program. It's going to show you to create long-form sales videos that you can use again to sell more of your info products or whatever else you want to create. Whatever you want to sell, honestly, it works for all sorts of niches and businesses out there. And then we're also going to give you, I think that's what we'll stop it at. So that all combined is anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 in extra stuff that you can buy on your own, or you can take me up on the stream right now and hop in for free for 14 days. You get Market Hero, you get all the courses that I just talked about. And so that's the total package. There's absolutely no barrier to entry. It's free, so you can try it out. If you don't want it, you just go to settings, you go to billing, and you click cancel. Never get charged a thing. And real quick, if you could hit exclamation mark, if you picked up my training in the past, you picked up actually this training, and you think it's absolutely awesome and someone should pick it up and it's worth trying for free. Just so people know it's not a scam, it's legitimate, they can come check it out, and I'm not gonna take their credit card and use it to go buy a bunch of, I don't know, fancy Hawaiian shirts. Awesome. So if you're on the fence right now, guys, there's literally dozens and dozens of people saying, jump in, it's free to try, and it gives you 4 courses that are the total package, show you everything you need to build your first business, get to 500, 1,000, 5,000 a month. That's all there is to it. If you're not going to swing at this, I mean, I don't know what else I could give you. So that's it, guys. And thank you for showing up today. I really had a lot of fun, and I'll see you guys next Sunday or Monday or whatever Sunday stream we do next. So I'll catch you guys later, and stay out of jail till then.